Hey y'all, John here. I thought I'd drop in a little narration in this bit of the video just to tell you what's going on here. As the title suggests, this video is me painting an image that seared itself on my brain during one of my nightmares. You know, oftentimes people ask me not necessarily like, what's your inspiration? Just like, where do you get your ideas from? Where do these crazy images come from? Where do you come up with all these creepy little monsters and like crazy horrific stuff, And oftentimes it's just like, I don't know, it just happens, I just put the lines on the page and that's what happens. But in this case, usually with paintings, especially, like when I get to doing a painting, like it's really based off of like a series of drawings that I do usually, because I'll admit I'm not really a fine artist. Well, I guess I am now that I'm doing more painting stuff, but I'm more of an illustrator. But in this case, for painting, usually, kind of work up to it through a series of drawings and just kind of ideas and images because, canvases and paint are expensive. Mostly that. If I was making a lot of money off of my art, which, I'm making some right now, which is good, but hopefully more in the future. Eventually I'd like to work full-time as an artist, but, one thing at a time. I'd probably just go nuts on the canvases more often. Canvases, wood panels, When I did this stack of canvases, I'm probably going to switch over to wood panels because, they stay solid and they don't move when you push the brush on them, For the piece you're seeing on screen right now, I had this nightmare, which oftentimes pieces are inspired by nightmares I have. Like, I think I get them a little bit more than your average human. I don't know, I hear like something with your diet has to deal with like vivid dreams or something like that, or like medications, but I'm not on any medications, although I probably should be. But yeah, I don't know, I saw this image in my head of this like, I don't know, it's like this arid hellscape with like this insect creature dome type thing, and there was like this like mangled corpse of like a blue chick on top. That's kind of where the image here came from, Actually, I have another painting I did a while back that was a nightmare I did, but that was before I was doing YouTube videos, really. Well, at least an art channel, I was doing my just videos for fun channel. That's the second channel. I'll link to the link in the description and end of the video too. I painted this thing and, I got my nightmares on the canvas and, I threw it up on the gram. You guys might have seen that if you follow me over there. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, link in the description. And yeah, it was well received, I guess. I don't know what this image means. I don't know, maybe I'll talk about that in the next narration break. But yeah, I'm gonna go back into time lapse and I'll come back and talk a little bit more. That's how we do. Alright guys, I'm coming back with another little chunk of narration. So, I don't know if you guys are interested in like dream interpretation kind of stuff. I don't know, I think that's kind of cool. Like, I don't really believe in that kind of stuff. I feel like dreams are sort of like part of your subconscious, and your subconscious is like something that you just will never really comprehend as a human being. You know what I mean? It's sort of like explaining what consciousness is. You know, it's like it just is. You don't really know. It's just there. But if I was gonna interpret this dream, I don't know. I think it might have something to do with let's see, we got like an insect, we got an eyeball dude, and we got like a woman that's like gored on top of this like dome and this like apocalyptic hellscape, which, you know, makes a pretty cool image. Well, I'm thinking this might have something to do with like, I don't know, maybe struggles with women. Who knows? Maybe leave your interpretation in the bottom down there. But I think maybe it's sort of, I don't know, maybe it's just scary stuff that just, you know, just there to horrify me for no reason. But yeah. And yeah, at some point the sun went down because this drafting table is like right next to like a window where I could just pull the blinds and like have the lights come in. So I turned on my tabletop light, and I don't know, the lighting kind of isn't as good in the second half, which I do apologize for sincerely. Like, I don't know, man. Something about this camera that I got. It's a good camera. It does its job, but like for some reason, even when I adjust the exposure to be extra bright, it's still dark. It's a Canon HF Vixia something. I don't know. I'll put it on screen, I guess. It's not over here. It's on the charger. But yeah, it's an alright camera. It does 60 FPS at 1080, but like for some reason, no matter how much I adjust the exposure, like if I don't have like 100% perfect lighting, like the image is dark, which is really aggravating. If you guys have any tips for that, at least in terms of how to get a cheaper camera to look really good, other than, you know, buy better lights, which I do have a pretty solid light. Like that light on top of my drafting table that's pointing down is actually a good light. Like I used it in other videos with my other cameras, but for some reason this one just always comes out dark. But, you know, it looked pretty good at first with the natural light, but the sun went down because this painting did take some time, because it was a painting, and paintings usually take longer. But yeah, as you can see at the end here, I kind of went in with some Posca paint pens and sort of just gave a little bit of an outline, a little bit of highlights and stuff like that. And, you know, I also went in there with like some diluted paint, you know, with a little bit of water, and just kind of like wiped it away to make those clouds in the background look kind of transparent, you know. But yeah, overall, I think this is one of the best paintings I've done so far. You know, I'm not really that great of a painter, but, you know, I try my best, you know, and I think I'm definitely improving. Like, I can tell, like, actually, I've been watching some Bob Ross tutorials, and, you know, even though he works with oil paints and these are acrylics, you know, a lot of the same principles can be applied. And, you know, I'm really, like, applying the stuff I know from digital painting to traditional painting, because, you know, that kind of works together. It's sort of like working in layers, but like you can't move them. That's sort of the way I approach painting, you know what I mean? Because in Photoshop you have the layers that you can like always just, you can delete, you can Control Z on that, but there's no Control Z, there's just overwrite, you know what I mean? With acrylic, I don't really know how oil paint works. That stuff's too expensive. I used gouache one time. I had these like tiny tubes that cost like $5 a tiny tube, and I did not have fun with that. I actually got some watercolor paper for Christmas, which I'm thinking that might be a good video, you know, attempting watercolor. So stay tuned for that. I'm definitely gonna do that, because I always liked the look of watercolor, but like I never really got into it myself, mostly because I really didn't know what kind of paper or canvas or whatever to put it on. But I got some watercolor paper, so, you know, I'll give it a go. I have some watercolor paints, like, you know, on the tube it says watercolor, which I don't know, can't you just like take acrylic and water it down and that makes it watercolor? I don't know, we'll see. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to that. But yeah, okay, right back into the time lapse to wrap this up. Okay guys, I just want to say thank you so very much for watching this video. I appreciate it if you watched it all the way to the end. I know it was a little bit of a longer one. I try to keep my videos between 12 and 16 minutes, you know. But yeah, if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing, you know, slap that like button, all that YouTuber stuff, you know how it goes. And yeah, thanks. I'll see you next time. Bye.